Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Thursday. I hope your week's going well. I wanted to jump on here today to have a chat with you about breakfasts. Now, I've posted a few questions about this in the group and on my personal Facebook page just to kind of see what were people having for breakfast, what room for improvement there maybe was. So it's been quite interesting to see how similar a lot of people's breakfasts are. So not very many surprises actually. It was quite nice to sort of see that a lot of people are all actually doing pretty well already. So if you haven't posted in the comments previously, or if you have, go ahead, post it now, what you had for breakfast this morning. And I'll do a little bit of a live analysis on the food that you had, how you can make it better, and why. I make the recommendations that I do because I think the why means you just understand a little bit better about what's going on in your system, on your plate, all those kind of good things. So if you're watching that at the moment, I think we've got 5 people online right now. Can you post into the comments what you had for breakfast this morning? And I'll go through. Don't worry, I won't be too judgy. I will be gentle with you. Don't worry. So let's see what other people have got going on their plates this morning. I will go through a couple of the posts that were done previously in the week, just to get us started. We got one come in there. Bill, coffee and a piece of fruit. Cool. Let's have a look at what some other people had. Here we go. Porridge with cinnamon and chia seeds and maca root. Oh, okay. Ian had oats, lactose-free milk, protein powder, and berries all together. Or he would have a chocolate raspberry croissant. Jeff has 2 boiled eggs. Otherwise, if he's not feeling quite so lazy, he'd have some oats, almond milk, and some water, and usually a teaspoon of honey and half a banana. Got some live ones coming in as well. David had lovely overnight oats, recommended by my good self. Very good. I'm not really very keen on overnight oats, but loads of my clients really like them because they are so easy to make and put together, and you know exactly what goes in them, and they're really filling. So a lot of people really like them. What else have we got here then? Mine, may as well tell you what mine is. I usually make my homemade granola and add quite a few teaspoons or tablespoons even of Greek yogurt. When you have granola and Greek yogurt, try and think about it being more of a yogurt bowl than a granola bowl, because actually what you're looking for mostly is to try and get as much protein as you can. And I was lucky enough to get an instant pot for Christmas, so I've actually started to make my own yogurt, which is quite nice. I have made just normal yogurt, and I've also made the Greek strained yogurt as well, which I probably strained it a bit too much. It came out a little bit like cheese, but it was nice. It was very tasty, but it was homemade, and it cost me like 80p because that's how much it costs to make yogurt. If anybody's interested in how to make yogurt, put yogurt in the comments box and I'll send you a link on how I made the yogurt. I'll send you the YouTube video that I used to make the yogurt. So what else have we got here? We have got porridge, great. Cereal and coffee. Fruit shake made of banana, mixed fruit, a little bit of fat-free milk. Very good. Something with fruit and cereal. So let me talk about boxed cereal. Boxed cereal is probably, in my opinion, the worst thing you can have. They make it's so processed. So much of the goodness is taken out that they actually have to put vitamins and minerals and fiber back into it to actually make it into a food. If they hadn't added the vitamins and minerals, it wouldn't actually be classed as a food because it would be basically be carbohydrate, which ultimately is sugar. Um, I've noticed loads of people talking about how Cheerios are their choice of cereal because, as far as they're concerned, it's healthy. It's got soluble fiber in it. I'm really sorry. It's not great for you at all. It's actually got about 20% added sugar on top of the fact that it's already about 60% carbohydrate. Yes, it has some fiber in it, but again, that's re added into the cereal because it's lacking so much in nutrition. And the vitamins and the minerals all manufactured and added afterwards. I always say this to everybody when I start working with them. Getting your nutrition from natural sources is always going to be the best source. Your body's going to process it better. It's going to have to work a little bit harder at getting it, which basically means you actually burn more calories eating proper food than you do eating cereal. And another thing with cereal, because it is so processed, the GI, the glycemic index of cereal is actually really, really quite high. So you'll have a bowl of cereal, you'll get a rush, insulin suddenly gets pouring into your bloodstream, and then you get a crash. And then you get hungry again by mid morning. So if you feel like you're eating cereal because it's healthy, but then you're getting hungry about 11 o'clock, that's the cereal. It's not working for you. Um, at a push, go for a really good quality granola or a muesli. Look for ones with no added sugar or low sugar content in it. They're usually much more expensive. So that's why I make my own. It's so much easier. You know exactly what goes into it. You can flavor it as much as you like or as little. And it just tastes a lot better because it's so much fresher. Um, have we got any more coming up? Yogurt. Yep, good one. Having yogurt for breakfast. Bill, again. Yep, good stuff. So, what I've done is I've put together a quick PDF on how to build a better breakfast. First of all, I do talk about getting you off those boxed cereals. Please, for the love of God, stop buying boxed cereals. Make your own or have something else. Um, if you are going to have some kind of a cereal, oats are usually the preferred type of cereal that you can get. There are a variety of different type of oats, and there is some confusion as to what is healthier and what's not. Now, in the US, I know that you can get steel cut oats, and if you have a look at what an oat actually looks like, it's kind of a small, sort of pointy thing. Steel cut oats are darker brown because they've been dried, and then they've basically been cut. They retain the same shape, all the fiber, all the nutrients of it, because there is basically no processing whatsoever. The trouble with steel cut oats is you have to cook them for ages, like 20, 30 minutes. Um, some people have been saying that they have to cook them for 45 minutes. Not a lot of people have time for that, especially when you're going to work in the morning. The next one that would be the least processed is going to be the rolled oats or old fashioned oats. And on the PDF, I've got a picture of what these oats look like. So they're still going to be that sort of pointy shape, but they're flat because they have been steamed and rolled. So they've been softened. But then that's about as much processing as they've actually done with these oats. When you have a look at the oats, you should see it's still got a little bit of brown texture to it. There should be a brown, excuse me, a brown line down the center of the grain because they haven't really done anything else to it. So those oats, they cook really quickly, or you can use my recipe for overnight oats, which you don't even have to cook them at all. You basically put the oats in the bowl in a carton, a little bit of milk or milk substitute, a little bit of Greek yogurt, and then something to sweeten on top, either some berries or some honey or agave syrup, something like that. Literally bung it in the fridge overnight, let it all soak up. In the morning, give it a good stir, and that's it. That's all the time that you need. So these people that are saying, "Oh, I don't have time to cook oats in the morning," you don't have to. Throw it all together the night before, and it's ready to go first thing in the morning. A lot of people are saying that they're not using cow milk. Lactose in cow milk has had some bad press, and if you are lactose intolerant and you have been diagnosed as that, or you know that drinking cow's milk really does upset your stomach in an explosive sort of way, then yeah, avoid the cow's milk. Completely understand why you would do that. However, if you're avoiding the cow's milk because you think other milks are healthier, I just want to check in with you there, because cow's milk has a really decent amount of protein. The sugars in it are not that plentiful. So there is sugar in it, but there's not a massive amount. If you switch over to soya, almond milk, or oat milk, although it looks like a milky substance, it's got hardly any protein in it. It might have a little bit of extra fiber. Some of them actually have more fat in them, and quite a lot of them are going to have additional added sugar, which milk has naturally occurring sugar in it. Which is going to be better, the added or the natural? Personally, for me, I prefer the natural. So unless you are lactose intolerant, you're missing out on a boost of protein there. So you're going to have to get that boost of protein from somewhere else. The other thing that I would also like you to consider is, if you are not lactose intolerant and you cut out all dairy from your diet, no milk, no cheese, nothing that's made from cow's milk, basically, you'll actually make yourself lactose intolerant by not having milk. So just think about that. You may think it's healthier, but then suddenly you're restricting your diet when you do go out, when you buy something outside, when you buy a coffee, a milkshake, or some kind of dessert, or something from a restaurant. If that's then got milk in it, you've made yourself lactose intolerant. You've actually made yourself ill. Something to think about. If you are having milk and you want to change it up, think about going to yogurt, like Greek yogurt. Because of the way that Greek yogurt is strained, it actually drains a lot of the lactose out of it. But therefore, Greek yogurt tends to be much higher in protein and a little bit easier to digest. If you are up for making your own granola, I've put my recipe on the PDF. And if anybody would like a copy of this PDF, just write PDF in the comments and I'll send you a copy after this presentation has been completed. Next is toast. I'm not a low carber, as most of you know. If you are on a low carb diet and it works for you, great. Just think about what you're going to do in the long term when life kind of goes back a little bit to normal, or you've hit the weight that you want. But if you are somebody who likes a bit of toast in the morning, think about some toast that is brown for a start, wholemeal toast. Make sure that it's got as many seeds in it as possible. Have a look for the ones that have actually got seeds inside it, not just on the top. It can be linseed, it can be more oats, it can be nuts, it can be anything really. But just look for bread that's got a lot of nuts and seeds basically inside it. That way, it's going to improve the nutritional value of it. It's going to increase the fiber. It's going to increase the protein, and it's going to add a little bit of extra good fat in there too. If you are having toast, try and keep it to one slice instead of two. It will make an improvement, and try and fill up the rest of your breakfast with some extra protein. So whether that be some bacon, some ham, eggs, or an additional scoop of yogurt. If you can, get some more veg into your breakfast as well. Now, for a lot of people, getting veg into breakfast isn't that easy because it doesn't seem to go with very many things. So just think about adding it to scrambled eggs or mix it in to a frittata. It's a great way to add extra veg into your diet. And As somebody mentioned, it's a great way of using up veg that's on its last legs in the bottom of the fridge. I loved that description. I can't remember who said it now, but it's brilliant. So I've used it and I've put it in the PDF. So basically, what I'd like you to think about is when you're having breakfast, most of us rely really, really heavily on carbohydrates. So the boxed cereals, the toast, those sorts of the granolas, those sorts of things. Think about trying to get more protein into your breakfast with a dash of carbohydrate. I still want you to have the carbohydrate because the combination of protein and carbohydrate allows the body to process it better and transfer that protein into your muscles for muscle repair. So think about proteins first, then about carbohydrates. And if you feel like you're getting hungry midway through, chances are you're getting too much carbohydrate first thing in the morning and you need to increase the protein. Okay. If you do increase the protein, you might actually feel like you're full by the end of the breakfast, and you don't even need to have a mid-morning snack. So how can you pack more protein into your breakfast? Well, eggs are an obvious choice. Poached, scrambled, fried, boiled, omelets, frittatas, whatever. There's so many ways of doing it that you shouldn't get bored. However, you can get bored quite easily with eggs because they suddenly start to develop that eggy smell when you have too many of them. So I usually recommend having them 3 times a week. The old-fashioned thoughts of you should only have 1 or 2 eggs a week gone out the window. Eggs are now okay to eat. It's not until you're eating more than 4, 5, or 6 a day that you start to have to think about removing some of the yolks from it. So don't worry about how many eggs you're eating. Normally 3 would be great because 3 would give you 21 grams of protein. That's going to give you a great start first thing in the morning. I talked about it before. I talk about it again, and I'll keep talking about it. Greek yogurt. It's strained. A lot of the lactose has been removed from it. It's got 18 grams of protein per 200 grams of Greek yogurt. So add that to your bowl. Add the granola on top. Add some fruits if you want to add a little bit of sweetness. Greek yogurt, you normally do have either honey or agave syrup with it because of the draining process, the straining process. It does remove a lot of the sweetness, so you might need something else to add that in. If you want to have something quick, a liquid breakfast. 500 milliliters of milk will contain 17 grams of protein, and it already has the lactose in it. So you've got the combination of protein and carbohydrate in there. So half a litre or almost a whole pint of milk, that's your breakfast done. If you are vegan, then think about some tofu scramble made with obviously tofu, some turmeric powder, salt, and ground pepper. You literally throw it into the pan, mash it all up with the spoon, and as it heats up, throw in the turmeric, salt, pepper, done. You can also throw in some additional veg into that as well, like you would with a frittata or with scrambled eggs. Works out exactly the same way. And tofu is a complete protein, so you don't need to substitute it with anything else. But you might like to have a little piece of toast underneath it. Again, use the whole grain with lots of seeds in it. At a push, again, I prefer you to get your protein from natural sources, but at a push, have a protein powder shake with a smoothie or just the shake on its own. There are loads and loads of options available now. You can get versions from milk whey, pea protein, and there are vegan options available. I usually get my protein powders from My Protein, and then I double checked this before I did the presentation. All of them contain now complete proteins. Originally, when these vegan and vegetarian versions came out, they were lacking some of the branch chain amino acids. But now, the way that they put the powders together, they've combined them. So they are now a complete protein. 1 scoop of that, 20 grams of protein, you're done. Throw it into a smoothie, even better. You get some more vitamins and minerals. So do try and get 20 grams of protein in your breakfast. It's a great way of starting your day. It's going to make you feel fuller for longer. Anything that you have with it, when you combine it with a carbohydrate, it's going to actually lower the glycemic index of it. Basically, that means if you have it with a carbohydrate, it's going to be slower released into the system, and it'll make you feel fuller for longer, but you also won't get that crash later on in the day. When you eat protein, not only does it repair muscle tissue, which muscle tissue means more muscle, means you're burning more calories, but actually the process of digesting protein and converting protein into the protein that goes into your muscles actually burns calories. So it promotes a thermogenic effect. And that basically means it increases your metabolic rate. So by eating protein, you're actually increasing your body's requirement to burn more calories just to process the food that you're eating. So start your day with 20 grams of protein, get yourself off to a really great start. Try it for a week and see how you feel. Let me know if you're finding that you're no longer needing that mid-morning snack. So a couple of people have already asked for the PDF. If anybody else wants it, whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the recorded version, post PDF into the comments and I will send it to you. And if anybody has any questions, I will either take them now, or if you're watching the recording, again, post them into the comments. I will review these questions afterwards, and I'll come back and I'll answer them in the comments box below. So I think that's about everything. I will send that to the PDF to anybody that's posted that in the comments box. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. And if you would like a one-to-one session, just let me know and send me a private message or type "pick me" in the comments box, and I'll get in touch with you to book up a quick 15-minute consultation on how to make better breakfasts. I hope you found this useful. Any questions, you know where to find me. You take care, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.